Today we continue our summer series, Getting to Know the Triangle, by visiting the towns of Cary, Apex, and Morrisville. Hey everybody, and welcome back. I'm Christina Morris, the Realtor in Your Corner. I'm affiliated with RE/MAX United here in the Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill area in the great state of North Carolina. I post these videos each Friday for folks who are wishing to relocate to the area. Just want to say thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I post another video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm covering the three communities of Cary, Apex, and Morrisville together since their town limits intersect a lot more than you might think. These three communities, all different towns in and of themselves, but are uber popular for their location and their schools. These three communities in this region of the Triangle just west and south of Raleigh are incredibly popular with folks moving into the area because of its proximity to Research Triangle Park, which lies partly in Morrisville, and it's also close to the RDU airport. This makes this region very attractive for those who appreciate a short commute to RTP. Bordered on the west by I-540, on the south by US 1, and the north and east by I-40. This region has quick access to both Raleigh and Durham. Morrisville and parts of Cary do have one big con in my opinion, as they are in the noise contour of the RDU airport. I've had many clients from large cities that are very familiar with airplane noise, and it doesn't seem to bother them. It's just something to know when you're relocating to these particular areas. Cary is a true bedroom community, being tucked right up against Raleigh. Its population really started to grow and develop after World War II, and with the creation of RTP in 1959, Cary's population doubled during the 1960s. In the 1970s, residents became concerned about the rapid growth and its impact on its small town character, so they enacted the Planned Unit Development, what we call PUDs, as a solution. The first PUD was created on the old Kildare dairy farm in 1971. This model became so popular that 22 more PUDs were created between 1980 and 1992. Cary has an excellent reputation for planning and controlling their growth while encouraging businesses to build within the town limits to increase the town's tax base. Apex too was impacted by the development of Research Triangle Park when it began to attract those high-tech firms from throughout the world. Until then, it was just a sleepy little railroad town. By 1990, the population had reached 5,000. Since then, it has grown to over 75,000. Compared to Apex and Cary, Morrisville's population seems so much smaller at just 33,000. Morrisville was more of an office, institutional, commercial community with fewer homes. Until the early 2000s, Morrisville wasn't really much of a residential community at all. Even now, it's much more of a dense suburban area as there are more high-density housing and townhomes, and it's more rare to find a neighborhood with large lots. The second most popular reason for moving into these areas is the schools. Cary, Morrisville, and Apex are all a part of that greater Wake County school system. However, the schools in this particular region of Wake County receive really high ratings by niche.com. We all know that ratings are not the only indicator of school experience for your students, but this is something that folks do focus on when they're choosing schools. In my opinion, every child is different and we each have different needs. Therefore, it's my recommendation that you look into each school and what it will bring for your particular student. Because these towns are so close together and some neighborhoods straddle two towns, you may live in Morrisville, but the school you attend might be in Cary, or you might have a Cary address and attend school in Apex. This area, like several other areas of Wake County, have experienced explosive growth over the last several decades. So school overcrowding is a problem that the county is constantly addressing. That being said, this is not just a Cary, Apex, Morrisville issue. Overcrowding is an issue across the entire county. The county has implemented several solutions, from adding more schools to adding trailers on campuses, capping school enrollment at certain overcrowded schools, and making several schools year-round to accommodate more students and keep up with the demand for classroom seats. Let's talk a little bit about that year-round program. Each of these communities has a few year-round schools. The year-round schools for Cary, Morrisville, and Apex are shown here on this list. By utilizing the year-round system, the school building is used all year rather than just, say, the end of August through the middle of June. To give you an easy explanation of our year-round program, imagine three groups of students track 1, 2, and 3 enter the school after the July 4th holiday. Then when one track's out, track 4 will start school. Each track will go to school for approximately 9 weeks and track out for a 3-week break. Many families love the flexibility of being able to travel in the off-season times. They can go to the beach in September, they can take the entire month of December during that crazy holiday season. And then they have time in the early spring to travel as well. It's also helpful for student academics for children to have time to catch up during their 3-week break on anything that they may not have mastered during that 9-week period. In addition to being able to use the buildings year-round and that flexibility for families to travel in the off-season and spend time with one another, it's also a win on the academic side as well, because students don't have to go through a lot of review when they return to the school after a long summer break. I do believe parents are also able to transfer into and out of year-round programs if that's not your base school on a case-by-case basis. Whether you go to year-round school or a traditional calendar school or apply to one of the many magnet programs, I think you'll be pleased with the options in this region. Like I said earlier, you might live in one town but go to school in another. Cary has about 30 schools across grades K through 12. Apex has 14 schools, and Morrisville has just 4 elementary schools, but no middle or high schools within its town limits. Of the 48 schools across this region, there are 16 schools that do currently have enrollment caps. This is a result of the explosive growth of this area. That being said, it does not mean that if you choose this region, your student won't go to a good school. By and large, Wake County schools are ranked well, but you should pay particular attention if you have school-age children in this area. You can't assume that your child is going to go to the school nearest to your home. Something else to keep in mind, that many students do go to magnet schools that are mostly located further into Raleigh. But there are 3 elementary magnet programs in Cary, as well as 1 middle school magnet program that focuses on the digital sciences. Additionally, there are some highly ranked private and charter school options in the region, including Cary Academy and the Triangle Math and Science Academy in Apex. So lots of options in Cary, Apex, and Morrisville for excellent schools. Let's talk about the vibe and feel of this region. With Cary, Apex, and Morrisville being so close in proximity and having a lot of blurred lines between where one community ends and one community begins across those city limits, one might think that these communities all have the same vibe and feel. Often you can drive from one community to the next and not even realize you've left the city limits of the last town. While there's lots of similarities, each community has its own identity. Let's start off with the town of Cary. Cary has a population of over 177,000 and it continues to grow. There's a big focus on the downtown area by creating a walkable area to promote that southern community feel, with lots of restaurants, a huge downtown park, and an incredible new regional library, and lots of dense urban housing, and several other breweries and restaurant options. Cary has an older city center where you'll find lots of older homes in very established and popular neighborhoods that radiate outward from the city center. Within this city center area, Cary High is an older school with lots of tradition. There is definitely a lot of town community school spirit surrounding this school. There are also a fewer newer high schools further to the west as well as to the south. Apex has a very charming downtown area along Salem Street that's also walkable with shops, restaurants, and bars. It's a big draw for residents of this entire region. The town also has an older high school with a lot of tradition. However, Apex High School was completely rebuilt recently. Morrisville does lack that downtown center, but it has other traditional shopping and dining complexes. In particular, the Park West Shopping Center is very popular with the big name chain stores, apartment residences, and a recent welcome addition was the Trader Joe's. And there's also a nice movie theater, and the center hosts live music on Thursdays in the summer. This region enjoys a lot of access to outdoor activities, parks, and greenways. There's a lot of emphasis on town parks and recreation with organized sports, the arts, and planned town events with each community. Morrisville is the only one of the 3 communities with a town-sponsored community pool. The Morrisville Aquatics and Fitness Center provides town residents and non-residents with a recreational pool and a 6-lane lap pool covered by a glass retractable roof. There's a fitness room, a weight room, racquetball, and lighted tennis courts. The center is also available for both Morrisville residents and non-residents with reasonable memberships on a yearly, monthly, or single visit basis. This region enjoys a lot of convenient shopping with a grocery store on just about every corner and several localized large shopping centers with Target, TJ Maxx, Home Depot, Home Goods, along with a lot of entertainment with movie theaters, restaurants, and bars. There's that Park West Shopping Center that I mentioned in Morrisville, Crossroads in Cary, and Beaver Creek in Apex. The general thought is that the town of Cary has a bit higher home prices than some of the other outlying suburbs, and that is partly accurate. The median home price across all types of housing is just over $600,000 in Cary, with Apex right behind at a median of just $575,000, with Morrisville coming in just a bit lower at $541,000. If we isolate this to include just the median for single-family homes, the gap between Cary and Morrisville is all but eliminated, shown here on this graph. And considering the median across the region of just townhomes, Cary and Morrisville are almost equal. Housing options across the three communities do include condos, townhomes, and single-family homes, but you'll find that Morrisville is more densely developed, as shown here on this development map. There are fewer single-family home developments within the town of Morrisville compared to their neighbors Cary and Apex. Here in Morrisville, there's a larger emphasis on townhome developments. Like I said before, in the early 2000s, Morrisville really wasn't much of a residential community. Even now, it's much more of a dense suburban area as there's more townhomes, and it's rare to find a neighborhood with large lots. I think this community does attract folks that are more interested in that low maintenance lifestyle, and so those that seek that lock and leave lifestyle with an easy commute are certainly in luck when it comes to living in Morrisville. That being said, the Weston Estates neighborhood located on the edge of Morrisville and Cary does have some lovely homes on large lots. Here you'll find beautiful luxury custom-built homes on almost half an acre on beautifully landscaped lots. Building in this neighborhood started around 99-2000 and continued till about 2006. The median home price over the last 6 months in this neighborhood is right around $920,000. One of the more popular developments, or what we call PUDs in Cary, is Preston Development. This is probably the largest neighborhood in Cary. It was founded by the SAS Institute in 1992, and it's made up of several smaller neighborhoods. Today you can find apartments, townhomes, and single-family homes. It might be best known for the beautiful golf course that it surrounds. Homes here can range anywhere from $315,000 to this $1.8 million executive home, and everything in between. This is what I would consider to be a typical Cary home located in Silver Creek. This home sold recently for $657,000. Built in 1996, it has 2630 square feet, 4 bedrooms, and 2.5 bathrooms. This is one of the few Cary neighborhoods without an HOA. This is what I would consider a typical Apex home near the median price point for single-family homes in Apex. It sold recently for $661,000. This home is on the newer side, built in 2018, on a small lot, .08, and it has 2440 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, and a 2-car garage. This is a planned development called Sweetwater with lots of walking areas, pocket parks, as well as a pool, clubhouse, and HOA dues are $192 per quarter. This was just a high overview of what you might expect from this region of the Triangle in terms of location, schools, amenities, and housing. I've done several other videos on each of these communities in the past. Be sure to check out my channel for more information. As always, I appreciate you watching. Until next time, I'm Christina Morris, the Realtor in Your Corner. I hope you go out and make it a great day.